Hello, Matthew Barnes.
Better than I do. My makeup person didn't show up, so I came without a face, as my wife would say.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. The microphone will need to be turned down over there. Shall we?
Shall we? I'm waiting for the go-ahead.
What, from Thomas?
Yeah. Ready, set, go? Ready, go? All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Middletown Area Town Hall meeting. Needless to say, like before, I haven't done this very many times, so bear with me, and we'll try to keep it something less than hilarious. We are called to order, I guess. First of all, we do the flag salute. So please join me. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I want to welcome everybody who braved the cold out there. Come on the meeting tonight. I guess I need a motion to approve the agenda. I'm sure everybody's gotten a copy of the agenda. Looks good to me. So somebody make a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Ken, made. Second?
I'll second.
Lisa. Motion is made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Oppose? Keep quiet. Okay. No, I can't say that. I'm under the Brown Act, aren't I? Okay. Never mind. Now on the agenda it shows a general plan and Middletown plan by Mr. Tyrell and myself. Reporting on the current progress of the General Plan Advisory Committee and the Middletown Local Area Advisory, LAPEC. Keep it short and easy. And most all of us are aware of what all that is, and LAPEC is an advisory committee for the new plan that's the county's trying to put together for the general plan. And I have attended a few of the meetings that have been going on. I think I've only missed one so far. And Dan, I think, is actual representative on the committee. So, Dan, do you want to start us off? And it's both of us. We've talked about it before. It's kind of unstructured, so it's hard to say what we really should be reporting on and what we're not reporting on. So I'll let Dan, you start this off, and then we'll see what happens. Take it from there.
I'm not going to take up a whole lot of your time tonight. My name's Dan Tyrell, and I am the District 1 representative for GPAC, General Plan. I think I was asked to do a summary of what the meetings have looked like, and there's just a lot of work on the minutia, different terminologies that are being talked about. It's all right. Testing. All right. There's a lot of just sort of dialogue in terms of what different parts that are not part of the districts, whether that might be the more of the fire planning side of it or the lake health side of it. Different interests want different kinds of language, and so that's really what we've been working on over the last several meetings, is just listening to that. And there's a lot of dialogue and interest in those, like making sure that the terminology is correct and inclusive. In terms of what I'm waiting for is for the local plans to be completed, because I think that's where a lot of us are going to be doing our work. So it's not what Dan wants for the district. It's really what the local area plan entails, and what we can do here locally is encourage people to show up to the meetings. That being said, I have an engagement. I will not be here tomorrow, but I'm going to be able to take all that information and be able to fight for those things that the people here want, along with the people in Lower Lake that we're also representing. That's it. I mean, I keep it short and sweet. Questions from Lisa?
No, I don't have a question. I have an answer.
Uh-oh.
On Wednesday, there was a virtual meeting. It's an addition. A virtual meeting, and guess what they were talking about? The Middletown area plan. Note by note. Which includes all of the stuff, which I'm going to be a little bit of me right now and not be proper, all the stuff that we fought against with the Dollar General, for example. So we referred to that in many things that we do. We refer to the Middletown area plan and we say, these colors aren't allowed according to the Middletown area plan or whatever. These items are being addressed right now. I suggest Myrea put out a Google Doc for people to comment on. And I would suggest that if you are interested in picking up a fork and starting to eat the Middletown area plan and make some changes to it, that you email Myrea and ask her for a copy of that Google Doc so that you can, here, is this what her email is?
This is the meeting here tomorrow
Right,
night
but
in
it's
person,
different.
so they can bring it here.
It's different. Yes, or come tomorrow and ask her for it. That's even better. Community participation is awesome. It makes a difference when we show up. So if you come tomorrow at 4, and it's right here, right?
Right here.
So then you can participate in that and ask Myrea to send you this, and you can make comments. And this really matters, these details, because that has to do with where more building is going to be allowed. It has to do with what kind of lights people have to have on their businesses when they do developments. It has to do with color, with style, with like all kinds of details. So I highly recommend you really participate, because we can make a difference locally.
4 o'clock here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And right now I have intentions on being here, but that depends on whether I have to wife sit or not. So, any other questions? And then I'll bring up a couple of things as well. Lisa did bring up the fact that we do have the meeting at 4 o'clock, and I have the agenda here. I'll read the items off from the agenda that it talks about, and it's a general discussion regarding the second community survey results. I don't know how many participated and sent in your surveys or filled out the surveys. I know I did, and there were a good number of people that did. Next is the general land use designation amendments, requests from public staff and survey. Communities requiring special policy or design guidance. I think that's a little bit what Lisa was talking about. Community growth boundary additions, amendments, etc. There's parts of Lower Lake that would prefer to be on this side of the cutoffs lines rather than the north side up in that area. And then policy changes and additions from the existing plan or local plans. I have attended most all the meetings. I think the one on the 13th I did miss because I was busy with some medical issues for my wife. But they have been interesting to talk about. However, I do believe they were redundant, and things are getting redundant in some of the things that we go over. They are putting out a list. In fact, the list is drawn of questions and plans and objectives and stuff like this. They sent me or sent us, or I guess M.A.T.H and some others, a copy of this, which I started to print out today. I was going to print it up and have some copies available for people, but it's 26 pages long.
Same thing I'm talking about.
and is full of questions and very, very detailed in some of the stuff that they were going over. I have some of the pages of it here before my printer decided that it was going to get mad at me and quit printing. And you're welcome to go through some of them. And what I think has been brought up at one of our meetings here, and I'm looking at the top one on this page, and it's adequate sewer and water capacity and public services shall be available. And effective buffer for maintaining open space. Those are the kind of details things that they get into in the meeting and in the planning. I have my own personal ideas on this, and but I think my personal ideas really are a summary of what everything is in here, and that is, they're looking out. They're still looking out for the planning and the general plan, and we don't know how our local area plan, if we have one, is going to fit in with that. How does it mutate together? How do they pull it all together to decide that you can have transportation here, you can have water supply here, this has got to go here? Where do we need to funnel the money for the county to bring us up to the standards that we need in order to qualify our local area here for bringing in this growth and everything that they want to set out in the general plan? How can you plan a general plan if you don't know where that's at? That's my personal opinion, and that's the way I go into the meetings and deal with the issues that are brought up. But still, it does have to get down to other details and stuff, and a lot of those are brought up in here, and you can get an idea where the planning is going with the general plan.
This is the Middletown area plan. It's the same document that I was referring to.
Right.
So people can, again, come tomorrow and get on a list and
You can get a copy of the plan, the full 26 pages. I'm assuming they're going to have copies here. Like I said, I have one copy here, and you're more than welcome to take a look at it and get an idea of all the details, the minute details that the county is going through and trying to come up and summarize the plan itself. So that's kind of my take on it. Rosa, have you read it? No?
I mean, I did when I was beefing with the cell phone tower. It didn't seem to matter that there were so many things that weren't in compliance with the plan,
Yeah, that's what I think. But Ken, how about you? Got any comments?
No, I don't have any comments at this time.
Ken read the whole thing.
Probably did. I scanned through it. That's about the best I could do. Anybody have any other questions that you'd like to ask on that? If not, then let's put it to bed. But if you really are interested in it, tomorrow here in person, you got a good chance to voice that opinion directly to the people in the planning. And I think it would be a good take. I'll be here, and I know some others that'll be. I think Monica's planning on coming as well. So we'll take that as a summary. All right. Next on the agenda, I see she has the approval of the meeting minutes for October. Anybody have any questions or adjustments, age or changes they would like to make to the October minutes?
Thank you, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
I got a quick question. Last month I didn't get an email. Usually I've gotten them for years. Was there some kind of glitch where the emails not sent out for the meeting last month?
Yeah, occasionally there is a glitch. I'm sorry you didn't get one.
I didn't get it this month either, so it's 2 in a row.
Yeah, well, it's Google Docs, and we have so many people on it that it doesn't always go out in one batch. So we're trying to use 2 batches now, and it's been more effective, but sorry you didn't get it.
Should I just hand these out to people, see if they want to look at them?
I don't know. I think Charlie and anybody else who has problems with getting the emails from the M.A.T.H, You have to drag the math thing into your main mailbox. If you want me to show you how to do that, I'd be happy to show you. I have my computer here and I can demonstrate it after the thing.
Something that has changed or what?
No, it's just your email may have stopped recognizing it for some reason. It's like email is full of glitches, and there's the only thing that we can do is say, I know there's a meeting every second Thursday. I can always go to the post office and see it, or email Math and ask for a copy if I didn't get it.
Yeah, I did send an email last month. I did get a reply.
So there must be some kind of a glitch there.
I'm not sure. I use Hotmail, so.
Yeah,
It's not just a matter of the spam box or anything. I mean, it's
you
literally.
need to do the speaker thing.
Both Rosemary and I had the same problem. It was not coming to us at all. I searched the entire mailbox that it normally had come to.
It can happen. There's like 500, 700 names on the list, something like that. So your box is just pushing it, not letting it through.
We can get that sorted out. I mean, you could just go to MailChimp instead of doing Google Docs. They'll take the whole list. It'll be free. And
I only get 60 if I'm lucky percent open. So it's the same problem that things get blocked depending on
Right.
what your email is. It's just a problem. I really recommend, for the sake of whoever's the secretary, which is now Ken, that you just email them, text them, call them, whatever. Just say, I did not get an agenda. Could you please send it? And, or like I said, it's always going to be up in the post office 72 hours before the meeting. So, because we're required to do that by law. So, I mean, email is email. It's got flaws.
So true. Okay, moving on to the next item, comments and suggestions. The first item on the agenda is Rabbit Hill.
Did we approve the
And-
minutes?
Oh, didn't? Oh, that's right. Okay, we got to do a motion on the minutes first.
I'll motion to approve the minutes.
I'll
Lisa,
second it.
Lisa makes a motion, Ken seconds. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Opposed? Next item is Rabbit Hill.
I have an amendment.
Too late. We
Oh,
already
it
approved
doesn't matter. We can take care of it today.
It's
okay.
Approved as amended.
It's okay. Fine. Doesn't matter. We can take care of it today.
Okay. Next item is, Rabbit Hill. Let's get to Rabbit Hill. Monica has down here, we're supposed to get back to Val Nixon with some thoughts on Rabbit Hill and its vision for our community use. Anybody on the board have any comments? I think the water towers look great, and I think they were a great addition to our community and really stepped up the view coming in from Napa County and down south. So, yeah. So I think there's great, and I have nothing but good things to say. So, but I don't. Anybody else have any?
I second that.
You second that? Thank you.
It's beautiful coming into Middletown.
It does, and really sets us out as unique.
Eye-catching.
It is.
Photogenic.
Especially in the Northern Lights.
Exactly.
What I want to say, Robert, who was here when Val came, wanted to put up a flag, and they found a place for him to put up a flag of a rabbit hill thing. So, and I think we'll be doing. I'm meeting with Moak tomorrow. I think we'll be doing some kind of opening ceremony for the tanks at the end of the month. And you're going to have to check the MAC website, or I can try and send something out via the Middletown Area Town Hall thing when we do that. And it'll be on Facebook and all of that when we're going to do that. But anyway, we're going to have some kind of opening ceremony, and I highly recommend that you take a walk up there on a day when it's not raining, because when it's raining you can fall and trip, but it's pretty fabulous up there. So.
Anybody else? Roser?
On the land trust thing, I look at Rabbit Hill. It's outside my door, and I sorely miss the trees on.
Oh, yeah.
And I love being able to see the tanks, but I'd love to see some intention about putting back some native trees and let them seed what was there back again, because it hasn't really regrown. You know how certain areas really pop back and that one didn't. And so as far as suggestions to the land trust, and even if there's a way to get community engagement, because how to get water to a tree up there becomes a problem. And even if we encourage walk with a water bottle and water a tree, like I hope to have community involvement and some life back on Rabbit Hill. And art.
And art. Yeah, well, native growth doesn't get watered except once a year in the wintertime when we do around here, so.
Well, just the babies, because like the babies
Yeah,
they put out
to get a
trailside
start
didn't make it.
like we did out at the park.
They didn't work.
Yeah.
They were the wrong trees, though,
There was
actually.
a lot of trees.
But Tanya, everybody wanted to kind of get your input on what could be put up there, so that if we did have a budget, we could figure out what could be planted. There were thoughts about manzanita bushes being planted up there. But we always do have the problem of watering because there is no watering. And rosemary, I mean, we spoke about this at the Kalayomi meeting, like how do we water things? It's a little bit of a problem, but I will let, Ken, you're taking these notes, so we'll just make sure that Val gets the notes about what people said about wanting to see trees and...
By the way, on watering, you know that Marlene Elder goes and waters the plants by the old brewery. Like, they're good little water fairies, Like, she does it literally every single day. And she doesn't talk about it. So, like, there are people who will put some effort in to make the trees grow.
All right.
I had a comment.
Okay.
My name is Kate Schmidt-Hopper.
A little bit closer.
What is happening with the land trust water tanks that Val Nixon requested maybe some guidance on, also doing some sort of artwork on the land trust water tanks that are separate from the ones that have already been painted?
So it's one water tank. It belongs to the fire department, and we're in the process of... when Val was here, she showed Darina Simeonova's design, which was the third place. So it's already been basically vetted by the community, and we're working on the revisions for that. There's a budget for that from the land trust and from the fire department. And I don't think it's going to be done necessarily by the end of the month, but it's going to be in process soon. We have to worry about the rains now, too.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Also, in consideration with planting on Rabbit Hill, many native plants are not particularly fire-wise, and so that is a consideration. Plus, I think there's a lot of serpentine soil up there, so it's very hard to get things started unless they are serpentine types of plants. So it might be a bit of a stretch to try and get things to grow there artificially. Ultimately, the ecosystem takes over, and the things that can survive will grow there on their own.
True that.
That presents a problem, I think, in a lot of different places and ways throughout the entire county. Try to take everything as local and native as it is, and then you want to make all these improvements and you want to keep up with Firewise and so on like that. The two don't necessarily coincide, and so it makes it difficult to try to do something like that. And that's, I think, a problem throughout the county, and it's sad that we're letting the insurance companies dictate what we're going to do within our communities to comply with the insurance requirements rather than what we feel the community needs for its own beauty. So they can be a conflict. I know I just went through it with my insurance company. Cut down those trees. Yes, sir.
Hi, Matthew Barnes. like to suggest contact be made with the Lake County Master Gardener Program. They have
good idea.
volunteers who get hours for designing native plants, gardens, and actually doing some work in particular gardens. So this might be a good opportunity for collaboration.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Thank you. Let's see what a comment she asked me to bring up. She being Monica. December. Oh, Math is on schedule to make a presentation to the Board of Supervisors on December 3rd. No specific time has been announced yet to report on math activities throughout the last year. And she welcomes any member support that would be willing to meet with her to submit your thoughts and what you think should be brought up throughout the year for all the things that we've done in the community and so on. So anybody have any comments that you want to make sure get brought up to the Board of Supervisors, please feel free to contact Monica. Where this goes for local announcements. Okay. Next is correspondence. And Ken, I guess that's your area.
Yeah, the one correspondence that I wanted to bring up was had to do with the Appellate Court orders new environmental impact report for the Gwinnett Valley project, and it was in the Lake County News, and so we have this thing that they're slowing down the development out there with this new petition. So that's about it for correspondence.
That's a big deal. Can you give us a
Sure.
little more information about that?
The effort to build an ultra-luxury resort and residential community outside of Middletown has hit another significant obstacle in the form of an appellate court decision that is ordering a new environmental study for the project. So it's delayed. Let's see. The people of the state of California are the petitioners, and the respondent is Lotus Land Investment Holdings, and so they need to make another environmental impact report. It had to do, I think, with the exits and stuff again.
Still having to do with exits.
Yeah.
It was the Center for Biological Diversity that brought that
Right.
suit to the appellate court, who successfully got the stay from the judge.
And I think it was primarily around
Thank
the
you, Kate.
specific, it was pretty specific, if I remember correctly, on
Evacuation.
evacuations, yeah. Yeah, still concerned about that. And I don't blame them. I don't think they've made it very clear as to how they've dealt with it, other than the fact that supposedly before it was taken care of, but evidently not now. Or at least not clear enough, or they felt the county needed to look into it a little bit closer. Ken?
Yeah, it was a groundbreaking decision that affirms that local governments and developers must publicly disclose to put a new community in a wildfire zone in the center of the biological urban wildlands program. This is the first time a California appeals court has set aside an environmental report because the agency failed to look at wildfire ignition risk. This ruling is clear signal to those who can build a low-density development in California's wildlife-prone areas. So, it's the wildfire. They said we have so many fires here, and you just can't make development without a complete environmental report.
Yeah.
So if I
Yeah.
understand you correctly, Ken,
We need the microphone, please.
repeat what happened before.
What happened? Oh, I'm sorry.
So if I understand you correctly, it's basically the same thing that they did before when they canceled it and said,
With the state.
With
That
the
was at the
state.
state at the time. And the mitigation that they used was using Grange Road as a secondary exit, but apparently that's still not good enough.
oh, okay, sounds good, thanks.
It's actually not about
Name,
exits.
please.
It's about Frederick Leahy.
Thank you.
It's actually about ignition rates. When a population is introduced to a wildlife area, they did no statistical analysis of the impact of people coming into wildland. And so they said you have to do that. And then they can apply all of their mitigations of having a fire department there, of the exits and everything else. But it's really about ignition risk with the introduction of 4,000 people.
Correct. Most fires are started by human beings. And so that's the problem. When you introduce human beings to the interface, they're the ones that cause the fires. You're correct.
Thank you for that clarification, Fred.
Anybody else? Okay.
I have one related question. Lisa, are you going to talk about that thing that we signed up for at the last meeting regarding the in-town construction?
Yeah, something will happen with that. Just,
Today?
I think that this sort of let us go
It
like,
Kind of trumped it?
to
Okay, for now.
breathe for a minute. Yeah.
Okay, so,
And I think a part of the problem is I wrote the people who we want to meet with, and they said we have to finish an EIR first, and then we'll meet with you. So, yeah.
Finish up and approved.
No,
And
just they have to
Just
finish
finish
writing
an EIR,
Yeah.
not even approved?
Well, they have to get it written first, I guess.
Yeah, okay. Very good. Okay, am I getting too far ahead of schedule, guys?
Nice.
Sorry, Bill, can I just say that that's a Lake County News article, so you can just.
I was gonna
it's
say, it
Appellate
was in the
Court
record.
Orders New Environmental Impact Report, and Elizabeth Larson wrote it, so it
Yeah.
has a lot of background on there, too.
Does. I thought it was well done. Any other correspondence?
No, not for me.
Ken, okay. Let's see. Next item is the any nominations, board nominations are still open. We've got 2 seats still available or coming up that will be available at least at the start of the year. And we have written down here, candidates nominated must be registered voter in Lake County, must have attended at least 3 meetings in the year prior to the election, must reside within South Lake County Fire Protection District boundaries as defined in M.A.T.H bylaws. And see the bylaws if you need more detailed information. I don't think we're going to need that. But so do we have another nomination?
I'd like to nominate Julia Bono for the board.
Sorry, say the name again. Sorry.
Oh, I'm Carlos Bono. I'd like to nominate Julia Bono for the board.
And when Tara gets 3 meetings, I'd like to nominate Tara.
I second that.
And Ken? And Tara,
The-
With a YBA.
Here, I'll show you.
And Kate's probably still too busy. Okay, Kate.
Wabera? Is that how you pronounce it? Ibarra?
Mr. Leahy, are you interested in being on the math board?
What a good idea.
No?
Charles?
And you're all aware that the 3 meetings that you have to have attended can include December. So the elections are effective the first of the year. So December is allowed in there, but the cutoff would be the end of the month in December, even though the first math meeting isn't until the second week of January. So, any other nominations?
I'm going to do something very unconventional. I'm going to ask, does anybody else want to be nominated? Because change is good. It's nice when we have a little bit of change, new people, because we're all a community, you know? We're all in this together. Anybody else want to?
Yeah, Bill, can you self-nominate?
There's certain seats up there nobody really wants.
That's true. That's true. Nobody wants to be the president or the secretary. It's true.
It's a difficult position to be in. It's funny. Until I retired, I would sit right out there. But the thought that crossed my mind was, unfortunately, was the fact that I was working 40 or 50, 60 hours a week and commuting to the city besides. And so I never got involved in the community, but the thought always crossed my mind that I wanted to get involved in it. And just because there were so many things that I thought could be managed better than they were, and with my background in business and everything, I thought I could contribute something, and I was always on a lot of other PAC committees and local committees for housing and all this other kind of stuff. So that's why I got involved, and I got involved at a dynamic time for Hidden Valley as well. And but I spent my 6 years on the board of directors out there, and we got a lot accomplished in that community, and it's really taken off.
So what are the
So-
open positions?
All.
It's just a directorship, and then the directors then in turn elect a president, a vice president, secretary, and a sergeant at arms, or I don't know.
No.
I forget
No.
exactly how the rules were, but it's all laid out according to the Brown Act.
Well, Bill, isn't it only 2 positions right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2. Like Monica and myself.
Well, and me. So I'm stepping down at the end of this year. This will be the end of my 2nd year. So
Is
Oh.
Monica up for election this year?
Yes.
So why can't we just put Ken in all positions? And we'll
No, Ken wants to drop off too. I thought that it was just 2. If it's 2 positions, it's sounding like 3 now. So I didn't understand that Monica was stepping down. Are you sure about that?
Pretty much. Not 100%, but that's what I understood.
Okay. Let me check that.
it's hard to set up and be representative of a group when for me, I know what's going on in Hidden Valley in that local area. I don't know as much about what's going on in Middletown, but I think both places need each other more than they know. And that was one of the biggest things I had for the board of directors at Hidden Valley. I was disappointed in the fact that our community in Hidden Valley was not participating in the local government of the county, and yet we depended on the county and we depended on Middletown to sustain our lives up while we were here. And so we did get actively involved, and the people in Hidden Valley, I think, got actively involved in the government, myself included, and enjoyed my time there. But yeah, I'm closing in on 80. I've had my time.
You're the one who's only done 1 year. So I think
I'm on my
he's
second
right.
year.
It says, I think I have the right year, 2024. You were elected last year.
That was-
Right, that's correct.
Yeah.
You have
I'm
another
looking
year,
at the
Bill.
minutes. You were elected last year, so technically, you're supposed to do another year, but if you want to step down, then it's, of course, you're privileged to do that.
So,
Yeah, my experience here with sitting up here on the board for many years actually is this is a small town, and normally where I came from, I could never be, on a board of anything. But here in this little town, I have a voice, and I get to meet everyone here in town, and it's such a small community that it's easy to step up and participate and be involved. So that's my reward.
You've done good, Keith. I've been watching you for about 9 years.
yeah, I'm stepping down from all my political positions, and I'm only keeping one, and that is staying on the board of directors for the Middletown Bocce Ball Association. With my bottle of Coors here and my bocce ball here.
Cute.
I wanted to mention one other thing, and that is that there's a certain requirement for residence, where you reside. So the board has a certain configuration that it needs to maintain as far as people from Middletown proper or people from outside of Middletown proper, like Hidden Valley. So that needs to be taken into account when deciding, because we need to know exactly how many people can be elected to a Middletown proper location versus a Hidden Valley location.
I believe
I
it's
think
2
you're
and
co-
1.
I think you're correct, Julia.
Yeah.
Pretty much correct on that. But I thought that we changed the bylaws where we're going to get rid of at-large people and things like that. But I could be wrong.
Oh, the title at large?
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know the details behind that. That's what I'm entitled, or the position I filled was the at-large, which, because I lived outside of the proper area of Hidden Valley, of Middletown. So,
So what is Middletown proper considered?
The South County Fire District it goes up to Cobb, down your way a little bit.
that's the boundaries of math. As far as Middletown are concerned, I really don't know.
Oh yeah, Rosemary.
I mean, Anderson Springs and Cobb.
Yeah.
It's all, and that's part of what my concern is with the planning department in doing a layout of here. They're looking at the overall general plan, but until you figure out what we need to do or what we want to do and how we want the layout of Middletown to be, how can you incorporate those zoning changes and without knowing how you want to plan that out? Where do you want your housing to go? Where do you want need your transportation to go in order to accommodate all these expanded growth? I'm sorry, I think Middletown's going to be the anchor city for Lake County eventually, and I felt that all the way along. We stand to be able to handle a good share of growth. But I think in order to do that, if we start now in putting the process together, we can build a community that is really meant to accommodate it. And so many times I go into all these communities that my kids live up in Hillsboro, Oregon. Hillsboro planned the big growth up there, and they had that town all laid out just in grids, and everything was set out, and they spent the time and money to get that done ahead of time. And so when businesses wanted to come into Hillsboro, that was laid out, and they could see what the plan of the city was and where the growth and the boundaries were going to be, where the people were going to be located and everything. And smaller communities have done the same thing. But if you end up with a haphazard here and there and everywhere else, like Clear Lake is right now, really, that doesn't work so good. And we got all this growth that's going on here, and we need to have supply of water. We need to be able to put together our sewer system, and we need to know where it's going to go in order to plan it all out properly. So it's a big chore. Big chore.
So we're still in nominations.
Still in nominations.
Anyone? I would like to request from the body that I can post on the M.A.T.H page that we're looking for directors, people to sit on the board of directors, and with the criteria that is required. That is to say, the 3 times in this past year, and residents of the South Lake County Fire Protection District. I would like permission to do that from the body and from the board, because if 3 people are if Bill wants to step down, then we now have 3 seats. So, and we only have 2 nominations so far.
Who's the second nomination?
Have we had any nominations?
Julia and Tara.
Have we had any nominations at prior meetings? Because
They were not in the minutes, so probably not. I know that I nominated Tara, but maybe she said she had to think about it.
I did.
Yeah, that's why I said, wait a minute, there's something wrong with these minutes, because I thought maybe that, yeah. So, yeah, I'll nominate you anytime.
Looking at Rosemary?
No, you.
No, I need to sit down and take a break.
Yeah, so I'm asking for permission. Can I have permission, dear body out
Well, we
there?
have, that has to come in the form of a motion, so if somebody wants to make a motion to
I make a motion, Lisa puts it on our webpage.
second, and I'll second it. And all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay.
So noted.
So noted. Now, public input. Anyone may speak up to 3 minutes. Anyone may speak up to 3 minutes on a topic not on the agenda.
So can I start?
Sure.
Yeah. So I don't know that this got proper attention. This is a little tiny thing. So there's a Shop Small Saturday, November 30th, that's like basically supporting local businesses throughout the county. And it'll be posted on Facebook and various places for people who do that. And if not, then look for stores that have don't look for anything. Just shop. Shop local. Buy your Christmas stuff in Lake County. Buy your holiday stuff. On the 30th, a lot of stores are having discounts. I know we're having like 10% over at the MAC. So are you having a discount over there?
Oh, yeah, 25% off.
Oh, 25% off at Tanya's at Star Garden. So, you want to take advantage of that. Todd is also offering 10% off. I'm just joking. He can't do anything with the water. It just is what it is. So, but anyway, I encourage everybody, shop local. We've got so much good stuff that's local, and you can always find like, oh, they couldn't get this anywhere else, or maybe they could. Just buy local, and on Saturday the 30th, you can get discounts, and that's all over the county. It's a tinyurl.com eat drink shop is how they posted it. So that's kind of hard to see, but you can take a picture of this thing right here. And then we have Christmas in Middletown coming up on December 14th. So you want to prepare for that. It's going to be a very busy day here in Middletown. And the MAC, in fact, is going to do posadas again. We're going to have, piñatas at 4 for kids under, up to elementary school, little to elementary, and then middle school and up at 7:30. And Tara can add a bunch of other things in a minute that are happening. There's going to be Santa and just all kinds of bugaboo happening during the day. So keep your eyes open for schedule and maps. And then, like I said, I will be putting out something about the special opening for the water basket project as soon as we decide on a date and have a contingency plan for that in case it rains. And this one is specifically for Tracy, but anybody else who likes to dance, is there's going to be a dance at MAC on November 23rd from 7:30 to 10:30. Oh, Matt just looked up at me. Maybe Matt likes to come too. So there's going to be a dance with 2 DJs, and it's very, very contemporary. It's called UK Garage and House and deep bass, and that's DJs Nick and Ami. Ami happens to be my son, but that's not the point. The point is it's good music, good dancing music. So come and join us. It's $5 to get in, and that just goes to the DJs. So anyway, November 23rd, 7:30 to 10:30, and I'm done. Thank you.
When's tree lighting out?
You need somebody from Mama to talk about that.
Ah.
When is the tree lighting?
Okay. Hi, Terry Barra, and I can answer questions about any Christmas in Middletown. So, tree lighting will be at 6 p.m. General.
On
just
the 13th?
14th.
14th.
December 14th. The whole event is going to be from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. We extended it 1 hour just because it gets dark so early. Sunset is actually at 4:50. So, anyways, that's horizon line, not even tree and mountain line, just FYI. So, and the Posada events, all of that will be going on for the same time frame from 3 to 8. She already talked a little bit about what's going on at the MAC Center, but we've got, we have pony rides confirmed. We'll have it's not hay bale rides back and forth. We actually have a trailer with benches and things that we're working out to get people across town safely. Hopefully we'll get 3 crossing guards. If anybody wants to volunteer, I mean, we definitely need bodies, and so anybody would be appreciated. But we would love to get another crosswalk. Oh, another thing that we're looking for, tower lights, or just like any kind of, those like garage lights that we can plug in somewhere, or if they come with a generator, because we want to light up spaces for people to, again, cross the street safely, or for like the pony ride section, we're going to need lights for that. We have a couple of bands playing. We have Santa. We have the Grinch. We have, obviously, the tree lighting ceremony will be at 6 p.m. We have Ballet Folklorico. We have at the center stage area, Santa's, FYI, going to be over at Mail and More again this year. And then at center stage, they're doing a Nutcracker display. I mean, that's probably most of it. Of course, we're gonna have a lot of vendors. We have a lot of food that'll be, everywhere. We actually have a food permit that crosses all the way across town. Anybody that's looking to sign up your business, you'll be actually covered under that food permit, but you do need to sign up through Mama to be covered. It is a $35 fee unless you're a Mama member and you sign up under your Mama membership sign up. If you are logged in when you sign up, it'll automatically give you a discount. Sign-ups, ideally, if you have not signed up yet and you're planning on, or if you know anybody, ideally you'll sign up by tomorrow. We are probably going to have to extend that just because we haven't gotten as many sign-ups as we were hoping to get. So that. Any other questions about Christmas in Middletown that I could just knock out right now?
Can we still adopt a tree?
Yes. Tanya is taking adoptions right now. Okay. She's going to do trees. Anybody else? Anything that I can cover now? No? Moving on from Christmas in Middletown, I had one other thing that is just a thought that's been floating around in my head. My teenager last year actually did technically get touched by a vehicle crossing from the high school. The vehicle was turning the corner way too fast, wasn't stopping. They were walking with 2 of their friends. They saw it, pushed their friends backwards, and turned their body and pushed, and their friends fell backwards out of the way of the vehicle, but the vehicle actually touched my child's leg. And then they rolled down the window and were like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" You know, freaked out. And my teen was like, "I think I'm good. I'm alive. Like, it's okay." And then they just sped off and left. That crosswalk is quite honestly terrifying. I mean, yes, we have the one person that's walking there, right? But I was thinking about, like, how can we, what is safer? How do we fix this? And then it made me think about, there's a crosswalk over in Rohnert Park. I used to live there. I don't know if anybody is familiar at all with where their high school's crosswalk is. It's a 4-way stop, and they have a diagonal cross. I don't know what we need to do to get something like that to happen, but if no cars are allowed to cross while our children are walking, I think that that would be a safer step forward that wouldn't cost us extra money. I mean, maybe some paint to if we wanted to do that diagonal cross, but I don't even think that that's maybe even mandatory at this point. I say we just try shutting off like all lights red at the same time when those buttons are pressed, you know, because then our kids are a little bit safer. And honestly, who cares about the people that have to wait an extra minute at the stoplight to not hit our children? And not that obviously, like, I haven't heard of anybody getting hit there, actually injured there, but maybe we should do something before we're fighting because somebody lost their life.
Are you talking about like school to the corner that goes to Hardester's and the gas station?
Yeah, that little.
We should put that
corner
on the agenda for next time, probably.
I think
or
and
something.
it's a really easy. It doesn't cost us anything.
We have to
if-
get permission from Caltrans.
Yeah. And I do think that there's maybe going to be some pushback because that's a main road, right? That's the main highway. So maybe there's going to be something there. But emergency vehicles will still be able to get through. Like, they go through the red lights, you know? So, I don't know. Just a thought. I would love to save a child's life before it's a problem, before that child loses a life. Cool. I think that's my main stick that I want to throw out there. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Tara.
I think that's a good idea too, that Caltrans is doing another presentation on that corridor changes that they're going to make in Highway 29 when they did that big survey, and then they came out with all that. And there are some major changes that they have on the drawing board right now for.
Do you know when that is going to happen?
I haven't heard the date yet, and I don't know if anybody else has, but I do know when they spoke here, was it last month or the month before? They did bring up the fact that they were going to be doing another community presentation on that.
Yeah, it's going to take a couple of years for their plans to.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
talking a couple of $100 million to for all the changes that they plan on doing, and that's pretty much just Highway 29 from Spruce Grove to the county line. So it's all that serpentine stuff that we got around here that costs so much money to get done. But there are roadways through town and through the rest of the community. I can't believe tangent. Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm getting off on a tangent. Please.
Well, I can get off on a tangent today. I had to stop at the red light. I was on my way out to Hidden Valley, and children were crossing on that crosswalk to go to school. And I was turned green. I'm going 25 through the school zone because I go, even though I didn't see kids on the side of the road, this fucking guy, I'm sorry, passed me on the double yellow because I was going 30 in the school zone. I was like, really, dude? Anyway. So, yes, I'm in charge of the trees that we get donations for families or businesses to sponsor. We're trying to do 30 trees this year. We might not make that goal. And I have only 4 commitments so far for 4 trees.
How much?
They're $40. I'm already handing out $10 to some of so the $40 includes the cost of the tree, the wooden stands that we make for them, and money to give to the classrooms who sign up to make Christmas ornaments to decorate those trees with. So that's what the $40 covers. They're small, Doug firs, but we put them out in along town during Christmas in Middletown. They're gathered up. They're taken back to the nursery where Operation Santa and the Methodist Church picks them up to give to underprivileged families who have signed up to get them. So you can call me at the nursery, that's Star Gardens, at 707-987-0998. As soon as AT&T reconnects my phone that they just disconnected by accident.
Sure.
So right now my phone's out and says it's disconnected and no longer in service. Or you can get me at stargar@sonic.net. Or you can swing by the nursery. We take cash or checks. Or if you really need to run plastic, I can run it through on the Star Gardens Nursery credit card machine. Because I think that's still working. Anyway, yes, we're looking for families or businesses to sponsor trees. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other announcements?
Public comment?
Comment?
Yeah.
Sure.
So, Veterans Day was Monday. Tom, Charlie, any other veterans? Thank you for your service. And congratulations to who won the elections. Did Helen win? I think so.
It's not over.
It's not done yet?
I was going to say,
Because it says preliminary
Yeah,
results.
so they did an update this afternoon at 5 p.m. So if you go to lakecountycalifornia.gov, you can see what the preliminary, they're not, I don't know.
And the school board, and, it takes a lot of work, and,
And
I'm
just
just,
so you know, those of you who voted,
into the microphone, please.
oh, that's right. Making my own rules. It was really strange how the voting went this year with the mail-in ballots. You had to bring your mail-in ballot. If you didn't, or even if you did, your vote was only cast as a preliminary vote, not to be counted for 30 days after.
That is so wrong.
It's the way they did it this year.
Yeah, well, okay.
5:30 this afternoon.
Helen was actually way ahead.
Oh, okay.
I
200 votes.
I was an election monitor. So the provisional people that came in without their mail-in ballot to surrender were given a ballot which was put into a pink envelope and marked provisional. When they ran out of envelopes at Hidden Valley Lake, the election inspectors were on the phone with the registrar for probably 2 hours trying to clear people's names because people did not bring in and surrender their mail-in ballot. So it was not an error by the elections officers. It was an error by the voters who did not bring in their mail-in ballot to surrender, because otherwise there's the opportunity for them to vote twice. And we don't like that, do we? So that you misrepresented what happened, and so I'm just correcting that. That was why there's so many provisional ballots, because people did not bring in their mail-in ballot to surrender. So that's what happened.
Thank you. Julia?
I would just like to say, from my own point of view, I was in that exact same situation, and the reason I didn't bring in a mail-in ballot was because I didn't receive one. Neither did my husband. So if people aren't receiving them, they can't bring them in.
Thank you.
My case, never received one.
All right.
That's state level, it's not local.
I wasn't blaming anybody, I just saying that.
Thank you. Any other item that somebody wants to bring up on anything? Then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
It says December agenda. December agenda.
Oh, stuff for the December agenda, okay. Somebody brought one up
Yes, we have the crosswalk.
about the crosswalks
Yeah.
at Crosswalks. I don't know who we're going to get to speak on it. One second. I don't know who we're going to get to speak on that, but we can put that up.
And
Yeah.
to that item, I would also like to add the fact that we need flashing lights on all of the crosswalks in Middletown, that the reason there's not a lot of foot traffic in Middletown is because it's completely unsafe to walk across these streets. Okay, I wouldn't like to be a child living in Middletown who had a friend on the opposite side of Highway 29 because I wouldn't feel safe crossing that street without my parents. Okay, it is sincerely unsafe. And the fact that there are no flashing lights is very backward. We need them because we are on a major highway and people are coming off the mountain, they don't stop. So please add that to the agenda also.
Thank you. It was, I will say this about that particular topic, and that is that's a Caltrans issue, and with the planning on the corridor, it is being addressed on that, but we can also bring it up for further discussion for the next agenda. All right. Anybody else have something they want on the agenda? Okay. Then now a motion to adjourn. Second? All in favor?
Yes.
Thank you. And thank you for coming tonight and putting up with me.